Welcome to GoNintendo Nightly for May 9th, 2012. I'm Rummy Cowboy from GoNintendo.com. I'm here to bring you the best, worst, and weirdest stories of the day, including a story from you guys. We're going to take a look at some Gaijin Games talk. We're going to discuss a little bit about Sakurai. We also have some random postings over at GameStop, and then we're going to focus on Donkey Kong Country. Let's get to it, shall we? Man, I am loving that intro. I'm never gonna get tired of it. I don't look like the type of person that would like that kind of thing. Especially tonight, I look like a gangster, like big time. Or gangsta, I guess I'm supposed to say. I should do a little, like, pop-up video thing of all the things that I think of while I'm doing the show, or all the behind-the-scenes info. No, don't believe that one. That's not true. Pay no attention to that. Let's get to the news. Our best story of the day is one that takes a look at Gaijin Games, who worked on the Bit Trip series, and one of their most popular entries in the series was Bit Trip Runner. As you guys might know, there is a sequel coming out on Xbox Live Arcade and PC and PSN called Runner 2, but it's not coming out on WiiWare because the file size is too big and the graphics are too enhanced, blah blah blah. But people were wondering if the game might come out on Wii U. Gaijin Games has been endlessly teasing that it may come out on Wii U, but they are yet to confirm it. The latest tease comes from their development blog, where they say, "We have a few fun little updates coming for you, so keep your eyes out." Doesn't sound like much of a tease, does it? Well, let me show you how they wrote it, then it might make a difference. Now you understand where I was coming from. It wasn't we, it was we, and it wasn't you, it was you. That's good enough for a confirmation for me. Now, let me take you to the worst story of the night, because I love to ruin your night with these terrible stories. Tonight we have a story about Nintendo not making a sequel? What's that all about? Masahiro Sakurai might be most well known for the Smash Bros. Series, but he more recently worked on Kid Icarus Uprising, which was the revival of the Kid Icarus brand. It's a fantastic game. If you haven't checked it out, you need to do so. And one of the things I kept thinking while I was playing was, I am so excited for them to continue this series. They've really brought it back to life. Unfortunately, Sakurai says he has no intentions of making a sequel to Kid Icarus Uprising. He says, quote, "If by lasting universe you mean to ask if there's a sequel, the answer is no, because we pushed a lot into the game in order to let people have this short yet deep experience, but the novelty of what would likely grow thin in the next game. For now, my thought is that perhaps we'll see someone else besides me make another Kid Icarus in another 25 years. So he's not shooting down a sequel, but he's saying, I don't plan on working on it. But actually, I know how Nintendo works better than Sakurai does, and I can tell you what's going to happen. Fast forward a few years to, let's say, E3 2014. Iwata takes the stage and he says, I would like to make a new announcement. We are making Kid Icarus Uprising 2. Sakurai is sitting in the audience and he's like, oh, they're doing another Kid Icarus Uprising. That's pretty cool. They show a little teaser image of the title and that's about it. The show's over and then Iwata goes over to Sakurai and he's like, hey, you want to make Kid Icarus Uprising 2 for us? And Sakurai goes, sure, I guess so. And then Sakurai gives up another 5 years of his life. Speaking of giving up years on your life, let's take the time machine back to the time when the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo ruled the console gaming scene. Your time machine this week is courtesy of GameStop's official website. If you click over to the website and do a search for Ultimate Game Room, which is a DS title, and you click on that link, you'll find that instead of Ultimate Game Room, GameStop is showing Cool Spot, a Sega Genesis Super Nintendo game. Why did this happen? I have no idea. Did somebody screw up at GameStop? Is somebody a big fan of Cool Spot? Do they want to see it return? I don't know. I'd like to see it return, but it's definitely weird. How about this for weird? A giant ape that wears a tie. I know, pretty strange, right? But it's normal us, because we're fans of Nintendo, and of course I'm talking about Donkey Kong, and it relates to the story that got the most negative votes today from you guys. Right now the story says there's a -3, but there's also a good amount of positive votes, so when it evens out, behind the scenes there's actually -10 votes and +7 votes. But we're going with the -10, and the story relates to 1UP's article, Why Donkey Kong Country is a Better Platformer Than Super Mario Bros. If you watch the video feature, you realize that it's actually tongue-in-cheek because the person trying to convince people that Donkey Kong Country is a better platformer than Super Mario Bros. Can't actually find anyone to side with him. You guys commented with 17 comments on this story, and I'm going to read the first one. First one comes from Sell Out With Me, and it's the only one you're getting because this comment is really long. He says, not really comparable to a platformer from a previous generation. I guess you could compare Donkey Kong Country and Yoshi's Island since they came out around the same time. And not to crap all over this guy's little video, but I wish video game journalists took themselves seriously. This dude doesn't even really try to convince anyone. He just said, look at DK's tie. And this hat. I know it's a joke video, but I would have preferred a real argument. He talks about Super Mario Bros. Level design feeling like hallways, presumably from the fact that you walk left to right and don't go above or below what is seen on screen, aside from entering a pipe every now and then. Donkey Kong Country was less linear in that you could venture into the treetops and go all over the place in the water levels, but if you compare Donkey Kong Country to Yoshi's Island fixes all that and arguably gives you even more freedom in the amount of areas you can explore. You guys can check out the description below to get the link to that story and hop over there and leave your own comments, see what everybody's saying. Because that's all I have for you for the May 9th edition of GoNintendo Nightly. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you'll comment and like or thumbs up or thumbs down or tweet or whatever the hell you're supposed to do. Thank you very much for that support. As for now, I'm going to leave you with... yeah, that's true. I honestly never know. I just snoop around and find something, whatever tickles my fancy. What? Oh. Good night, everybody. If you actually watch the video feature for you guys can help